Hey guys, it's Vanessa from Cake Style, and today I'm going to show you how to make this ginormous rose cake. It's so cool and so pretty all at the same time. If you love it as well, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. But for now, I'm going to show you exactly how it's made. So for this cake, I have gone ahead and baked 2 6-inch round cakes. I've used my vanilla cupcake recipe. I'll add the details in the description box below for you. And I've also made up some of our sweet buttercream and I've tinted it in a really pretty shade of light pink. The other recipe that I'm using is for modeling chocolate. You can find all of these in the description box below, so everything can be made at home. I've also cut out a 3 3/4 inch circle out of a cake plate. I have a large 12-inch square cake board, a spatula, some knives for cutting. I have a cookie cutter that is also a 2 3/4 inch, a scraper, small rolling pin, a paintbrush, and an X-Acto knife. I'm going to be using the paintbrush with some clear alcohol just to help the modeling chocolate stick to itself. The first thing I'm going to do is cut my cake into 2 layers for each cake. But if you don't have a cake leveler, you can always do this by hand. Now I'm going to take some of our pink buttercream and I'm going to apply it to our cake plate and then attach that to the base of one of our cakes. Flip that over and now it's time to apply more buttercream to make some filling layers. And then go ahead and pop the top half of that cake on there. Scrape off your excess and continue to add filling layers until the cake is fully stacked in 4 layers. And now I'm going to go ahead and pop this into the fridge for a good 10 minutes to set up. So what I want to do is just cut away the cake a little bit at the base here, just to come back to where this board is. I don't want to take too much off, but I want this to really look like the base of a flower. So it always curves in that little bit and then the petals flourish out around it. Now I'm going to flip my cake over, get rid of all that mess, and I'm going to use our cookie cutter just to mark out where the center is and just give a little bit of a press. Now the key is to not cut off too much at a time, so I just cut out just a little ways and then we can start working down. Now it's really important during this step that your cake is nice and chilled. So that's why mine looks really, really firm, is that it's nice and cold, and that makes carving so much easier. Make sure it doesn't have a real curve to it. You want it to be really flat because it's going to get lots of body from the petals anyway. Now we're going to carve away the base more. Just want to chip away at that so that there's a little bit of space, and that will leave room for our buttercream. Now I want to go ahead and apply a crumb coat to the whole cake. Now this goes back into the fridge for another 15 minutes. So now I'm going to apply a final coat of buttercream. Work on the bottom first, and then flip it back over and work on the top. Now I'm going to add some buttercream to my board. Gently pick up the cake and pop it down. So I'm going to take some of my darkest pink and roll it out. I'm just using a green mat so that I don't cut my countertop. And I'm going to use my 2 3/4 cookie cutter to cut a circle, and then I'm going to cut it just a little bit more than half. Pick it up and then curl it over. Now I'm going to take this, and this is going to form the top of my flower. Now I'm going to cut out a second circle, keep about 2/3 of it this time. Squeeze just to blunt the edge and then drape this around. So now I'm going to roll out more of the dark shade, and I'm going to take a cookie cutter one size up, cut it out, and then cut it so it's just more than half. Pick it up and just pinch the edges. And you're going to do this to 3 petals. So you want to start by having the left side fairly close and leave the right side out to start with. Grab another petal, slide that in, and then you can fold that over the top. Again, leaving that open. Slide the last one in and fold them over. Unfurl the petals just a touch. So I'm taking my mid shade of pink and using the same size cookie cutter, I'm going to cut out 5 circles. Now I'm going to keep about 2/3 of them. Again, soften the edges, and we're going to come around and use the same technique, attaching on the left side and keeping it open on the right. So now taking the medium shade of pink, I know they're all almost identical, but just this little variation will really help to make it look more natural. I'm going to take our X-Acto and just cut a nice big curve and then just blunt off the bottom. Pinch the edges just like you have been. Again, working on the left and leaving the right fanned out. You want these all to be shaped just a little bit different to make it look more realistic. Curl over the edges. Now taking our lightest colour, we're going to keep the petals really thick at this point. Create a big arc. But we still want to come back and just pinch the edges. But it's really important that the edge looks nice and delicate still. Now I'm going to come back in between. Again, attaching the left and leaving the right open. And just keep it up a little bit high until it sets a bit more. So now I'm going to roll out some more of our colour and make 5 petals. They're all going to be really individual and unique in their pattern and shape, and you want them to be a fair bit thicker than what we've been doing. Place it onto some parchment paper and then rub the edge to soften all the way around. Now we're going to pop these into the fridge for only about 30 seconds or so they'll keep their shape on the cake. So you just want to take them off the parchment paper when they're set. I'm going to come along and press it up against the cake. Take our next petal and slide that underneath. Now if the modelling chocolate is not sticking to itself, you can go ahead and apply a little bit of clear alcohol. And then curl them all around. And then now that it's set up a little bit more, you can come back and just separate the petals and just give them more movement. You can even roll them back a little bit. So now I'm going to make the calyxes. We need to make 5 in total and then wrap them around the cake. So to do that, I'm just going to cut out kind of an angular leaf shape. And then do 2 little nicks, not too far in or it'll weaken the calyx and it will tear on you. I'm just going to soften the edges here and soften that. You just want to come along, place a little bit of alcohol to attach. Now to make the leaves, I'm going to use 2 shades of green. Rose leaves are always very full. I'm going to just take the edge off so you can butt it up against the cake. And then taking a toothpick or a scribe tool, I'm just going to make some indentations and then some little ones coming off those. And gently come around and smooth the edge. So you want to start by attaching the first one on your left side. Just press it up against the cake, and then taking the second one, and then roll that up so it gets lots of dimension. And there you go guys, we have our ginormous rose cake. I had so much fun making this cake. I would love it if you would leave some comments below of the colour rose that you would love to create. If you'd like to see more cool cake tutorials, check out our playlist here. We always have our latest videos in this playlist. And remember to subscribe to our channel to see more videos. We have them on Tuesdays and Fridays.